Welcome back. The race for Hartford Mayor took a wild turn this week as former Mayor Eddie Perez decided to jump in. And here with us to talk about it is Rick Green of the Hartford Courant. So, Rick, this was not necessarily unexpected in recent weeks. A lot of people had speculated that he would run. But what's the argument that he should run?
Well, everybody likes a redemption story, right? You know, Eddie is a man who came up from the streets of Hartford and for the first two-thirds of his life, an incredible success story, rising from community organizer to mayor before his downfall in a scandal. So in a world that likes second chances, here he is, going at Luke Bronin.
But he's going to have to tell people that Bronin's not doing a good job and Hartford was better when I was here. But you look around Hartford, you see all the new construction, you see all these new people living there. So what's he going to say?
I think that's going to be a challenge for him to point to say, hey, the Perez years were the great years of Hartford. This race is going to move pretty quickly into some identity politics. You got Eddie from Hartford, of the city, and you have Luke, who lives in Hartford, obviously, but he's a white guy from Greenwich. And we're going to hear about that a lot.
And you've also got Brandon McGee from the North End.
Yes, let's not forget we have Brandon McGee from the North End. So it's probably good for Bronin to have a lot of people running. I think there are 6 candidates now. Yeah. But you know, Eddie is a popular guy among in some areas of the city still, and he's going to try to he's going to ask for forgiveness, and then he's going to remind people that who he is, and we'll see how far that takes him. Meanwhile, you have Brandon McGee, African-American state legislator from Hartford. That's a significant challenge, too.
Craig Stallings on the Board of Education, who is not a Bronin fan.
Right, right. And that'll further sort of diffuse the vote. You know, last time, I think the primary, 26% of people voted. That's 9,000 votes. 6 people dividing up 9,000 votes. It's not going to take a lot to win.
What's the difference between a redemption story of like Joe Ganim, we had him on earlier in the program, and, you know, because a lot of press supporters say, well, Ganim was elected. Yeah. But this is a capital C. It's a little different. Yeah,
and Ganim went to jail, by the way, and Eddie never went to jail. You know,
that's
his
true.
Conviction was overturned.
Although he pleaded guilty, correct?
Yes. I think, you know, Ganim has a certain charisma that I don't think Eddie has. He likes, Ganim is intensely popular in Bridgeport. You don't see that as much in Hartford. Also, you know, is it the right message for Connecticut to be electing, bringing more controversy to the office of the mayor in one of its biggest cities? I don't know. The outside world looks at it as another example of corrupticate, right?
Exactly. This is going to be probably the hottest race in Connecticut this year.
Yeah, in a sleepy year, this is the big race, absolutely.
Do you see the governor getting involved at all?
I don't think the governor's going to go anywhere near it. Do you?
He's got to be careful. Of course, you know, Bronin ran for governor for a little bit.
That being said, Bronin can point to a lot of successes. I mean, there's an upward trajectory in Hartford right now, and a lot of positive things happening. The trick is for Bronin going to be for him showing that I'm going to bring that success to the neighborhoods, and there's some tension around that quality of life in the city.
Bronin also has the ability to raise a lot of money.
He's already at it.
Does Perez have that?
And people say it's already too late for Eddie. That Bronin's been raising a lot of money already, and it's really late in the game for Perez to make much difference there.
Of course, the wild card here is the apathy of Hartford voters. Voter turnout is extremely low in the city.
Yeah, well, exactly right. So, you know, if the people that know and love Eddie turn out, and people who are sort of ambivalent about voting don't, that could be trouble for Bronin. I'll say this much, Bronin's going to work hard. I think he's already nervous about it. He's not taking anything for granted. He had a tough race against Segarra before, so it's going to be quite a horse race for the next few months.
Where does Perez's strength lie in the city?
Certainly in the south end, and in the south end of the city, you know, he's the Latino population. I think you're going to see Brandon McGee, who's African American, attracting some attention. It's been a long while since we've had an African mayor in Hartford, and we've never had a strong mayor who's African American. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Yeah,
Carrie Perry, the last one, and back in the 1990s. How much money do you think we're going to see spent in this race? I mean, this is going to be, I would think, one of the more expensive races in Hartford history.
Yeah, I think it's going to be surprising. I mean, you're going to see Bronin, I can't say exactly, you're going to see Bronin raising a lot of money. He's already, you know, he has the support of the business community. He has the support of of folks who like what's going on in Hartford with new apartments and the yard goats and the soccer team and the business community. We see signs of real optimism there with companies actually expanding in the city.
Mayor Perez left in 2010. It's a different city.
Very much so. Very much so. It's a different place than when Eddie was mayor here.
Absolutely. Rick Green from the Hartford Courant. We thank you for being on the program.
Thanks for having me.